I'm glad to see you all in person. I barely can see you because of the light, but I see some smiley faces. So in this topic, so basically there are two very rapidly growing industries present. One is growing in the spotlight, which is AI. The other one is growing in the shadow, which is the cybercrime. And if we are looking at the statistics of the cybercrime, so basically last year cybercrime has reached $8 trillion in costs. So basically, if it would be a sovereign nation, it would be the third largest nation in the world behind the US and China. And what's most worrying about the cybercrime and its growth rate, in the upcoming 5 years, the cybercrime will outgrow US economy in a scale 1 to 2. And it's not a surprise in this case that in such profitable industry, malicious actors are looking for the different tools to employ and to create more sophisticated attack vectors. So they are using AI tools as we speak, and on a daily basis we use ChatGPT or different LLM models. They have their own adjusted LLM models for the hacking activities, for example, Worm GPT and Fraud GPT. What is dangerous about those models is that those models do not have any moral restrictions. So basically, if you ask ChatGPT to hack something or produce the malicious code, the ChatGPT will answer that it cannot do that. ChatGPT doesn't have opinion. Worm GPT and Fraud GPT are not limited by those rules. So basically, those are pretty dangerous things. Silenus AI and Vicarous AI can solve the CAPTCHAs probably better than majority of the humans on the earth. So the hit rate is nearing 100%. So basically the CAPTCHA won't save you and your web from the attackers. SnapAR is quite good in scanning different systems and finding vulnerabilities and exploiting them on an automated basis. It's quite good with the lateral movement as well. FreezeFork and ZeroBot, two automated botnet networks. FreezeFork is a peer-to-peer botnet network which is largely used for crypto mining. So basically attackers exploit vulnerabilities, deploy the code and mine the crypto on our servers. ZeroBot is used for the DDoS attack. So basically hackers don't need to waste their time searching for the exploitable machines to create the botnet. It is being done by the automated tools. The other thing is that hackers are trying to be as imaginative as ever. So basically they use different attack vectors to exploit our systems. And what's most worrying about that is that those tools and methods are being combined in one single entity. For example, in GitHub you can find the repository where you can see the 56 different attack methods starting from DDoS, web application firewall attacks and so on. So basically that's openly available, and it brings some hooligans on the market as well who are creating noise and overflowing our defensive system. So from our point of view, we see the same situation in the last 2 years. Number of DDoS attacks is growing rapidly, and those attacks becoming more sophisticated. The attackers trying to mix different attack types. The long gone are days when we've seen the UDP attacks, and that's what was the only worry. So we have to employ more and more sophisticated IT systems. The good news, there are new systems on the market. So Recently, Microsoft has reported that they managed to create the system which has defended over 123,000 attacks per 30 seconds. So that's a huge amount, and they've made it happen by using the machine learning and natural language processing tools. But is the AI the answer for everything, for every our problem in cybersecurity? AI has its pros, so that's not arguable. So basically the biggest pro is the speed and scalability. You can scale your infrastructure and you are not limited with the human resources. It has improved the accuracy. The human error factor is not present, and it takes more precise actions. It enhances and automates our malware detection and our threat responses. However, it's not that simple. In order for those tools to work, you need a lot of good quality data. So basically, that's the economy of scales. In case of Microsoft, they have enormous amount of data. In case of other organizations, it might not be the factor. To train those AI resources, you need quite a lot of people to see what are the possible attack vectors and adjust them to your infrastructure. Otherwise, they will just fail and provide a lot of false positives and false negative results. We all have heard the sales pitches from different vendors which are stating that, hey, our AI tool is groundbreaking, it will solve all your problems, your life will be easiest as ever. That's not really the case. To be honest, majority of the tools available on the market right now are made with the machine learning and predictive AI, which on the other hand requires a lot of training, a lot of data, and it has to be trained all the time to execute perfectly. Autonomous training is not there, and Gen AI tools are not widely being used in those systems. And how can we train those systems in our challenging environments and to be more precise and not overwhelm our security operations centers with high false positive events? So we know that the human is the most intelligent being in the world, so that's not arguable. But if we look at some areas, let's take the calculator for example. Yes, it's a man-made object, but it's made for one purpose, to be good at mathematics. And no human ever is better in mathematics and arithmetics than the calculator. If we taking wildlife living, then squirrel is far the best at remembering where it stashed last year's acorns. The humans do not have such memory to remember all the small places where the acorn or our keys has been left last year. And the same situation is with our security systems. So basically the specialization is the key. We can define those rules in the large areas, so basically cast as large net as possible. Yes, we will catch a lot of fish, but we will catch a lot of garbage, and we will spend a lot of time to clean our net to be able to cast it again. The same is with the cybersecurity systems. We can define, for example, web shell rule in our security systems, and yes, it will work. So basically, it will catch the potential attackers. However, it will provide a lot of false positive results as well. If we will define the rules based on the single CVE, then we will have to spend much more time to adjust our systems. It will be more time consuming. However, we will receive much less false positive results than in case of defining the broad rules. So that's the trade-off, how we want to go further and what is the priority for us. In our case, the example from our systems, per day we see that we have around 6 billion different events. From those 6 billion events, around 15 to 20 events are being triggered each day. From those 15 events, only 1 or 2 has to be addressed and some action taken. Other ones are false positive, so basically we have to define new rules, or there are some false positive results which we do not know how to get rid of. So basically that's the glitch of the system, and we are trying to get rid of them for some time. We are working on that system and adjusting it, training it, configuring it for years. So basically those are results which has been achieved with the years of effort. If you are installing a completely new system, the results will be completely different. Most probably you will have thousands or tens of thousands different false positive events until you teach the system to work with your environment, with your infrastructure, and understand all the small details about the user behavior, infrastructure behavior, and so on. So basically it takes a lot of time. Additional answer is to look at some innovative technologies, and most probably in a rapid development, with the rapid development of new tools, that will be the most probable answer to survive and fight off the cyber criminals. Gen AI is the first priority and the first thing which comes to mind. At the moment, generative AI has a quite limited application within the cybersecurity. We see that, for example, from Dmitrij's presentation, that cyber criminals are using it a lot for different spreading the different misinformation, for the phishing attacks, and so on. In cybersecurity, the Gen AI most effective, I guess, would be in detecting the spear phishing attacks. It can see the patterns which humans would not recognize. So basically, that's the one of the most effective applications. The second one, of course, which I guess we all using in different areas by using in ChatGPT, it's filtering and summarizing things. So basically, if you have a lot area of data and we need to go through, find the patterns, Gen AI can be good help in this direction. And the third one, Gen AI is kind of good in code generation for bug fixes. So basically, those are the 3 areas which are most widely used right now in cybersecurity. However, if we look at the development of generative AI industry, so this year we've seen, last year we've seen 90 billion investment in Gen AI development. According to the forecasts, by 2027, those investments will rise to more than 150 million US dollars. So a lot of money is pouring in, a lot of people, a lot of very talented experts are working on that, and a lot of companies are investing and researching applications of generative AI into security industry. So we have to look closely at the development in this area, because new features will come for sure, and we have to address them much faster than some cyber criminals will. The second one is technology with also based on Gen AI, and that's different copilots. One of the most distinguished at the moment for cybersecurity is the Microsoft Security Copilot. At the moment, those tools are pretty expensive. So basically, if we are comparing Copilot for the developers, which comes like at 20 euros per month per developer. Security Copilot is being built by the hour, and the hourly wage is close to the junior security specialist. So it may assist you with different most complex tasks. It may analyze things and so on. It might increase the productivity of the security experts up to 20%. However, you should decide when to use it, because with the $8 or euro per hour, it's kind of expensive tool to keep in the background. However, it provides quite significant results. And the third area is the innovation. With the development of AI and quantum computers, we see that our data is becoming more and more at risk. And that's why there are several directions which are being developed right now. We see that post-quantum cryptography is being developed. The second direction is the quantum key distribution. And why is it important to think about this area in this direction now? Because AI is not at the state when it can break the most sophisticated encryption, and quantum computers are like at least 5 years in the future. If you work in a business where the sensitivity of the data is not disappearing with the time, then you should think about this kind of technology right now. Otherwise, this data can be stolen or intercepted right now, stored and decrypted in a 5 years time. So basically, financial areas, health providers should start to think about better encryptions for the data. And technology works pretty simple. So basically, we have the quantum key distribution systems on both ends, which provide the quantum keys, which cannot be broken so easily. And then our traditional encryptors do the rest in this situation. The human usually is the weakest link in the chain. So I've been taught that starting from university. One of my professors told me that, hey, you can build the most sophisticated IT system in the world, most secure and so on. You will have one weak chain in your system. And it will be human who uses that system. However, we need to address the training of our specialists, the training of our employees, in order to shift the tide and make our weakest link in the chain also our strongest link. So, thank you.
All right, cyber stocks for you as well. Don't you have to be in a suit when you are on board of TED?
No, we are quite flexible.
I knew that because you're the chairman of the board also wears hoodies a lot in conferences. So that's quite radical, I mean, in a positive way. Any questions from the audience? No, yes, we have here. Let's have a microphone.
Do you hear me? Oh, yeah. It's related to you and the last speaker. In your opinion, what laws should Latvia or the EU make to prevent deepfakes from being used in in harmful ways, like inappropriate content or propaganda?
So basically, we have the majority of laws which prevent that in place right now. We see that the new AI Act will come in a life pretty shortly, and we have to follow that. We have some different criminal laws as well. those people are called criminals not just because we like to call them that. They are not following the rules. They have no moral grounds, so basically they are not following any regulations. So we can create a lot of different rules, but that won't stop them. The only thing which how we can stop them is to create efficient system with the automation, with the filtering and so on, to get rid of that content and to recognize it pretty fast. So that's the only thing. So in this case, we have to fight fire with fire.
Fire against fire. Nice. Some more question?
Yep.
Yep.
What is your opinion on the AI Act of the EU? Like, how will it damage the AI? How, like, will it limit its, how to say it, advance?
It brings some restrictions for sure. However, we have to understand that, well, AI is pretty uncharted territory right now, and it has a lot of possibilities. And it should be regulated in some sense. Let's see how it works in real life. So basically, we try to develop our system according to the this AI Act, and majority of telecommunication systems and majority of the cybersecurity systems are falling for the high risk. And if we will be able to defend ourselves and to prosper with those rules, to create more automations, more predictive maintenance rules and so on, then it will be okay. If not, then we have to see how we can shift those paradigms.
Okay. Question in Menti. So do you think that the industry is currently behind the curve with AI, just like it was about 15 years ago, when malicious actors had different toolkits and suites for offense, while the defenders didn't have them?
I know that all the companies which are pretty big, serious players within the cybersecurity environment are developing new tools and are closely watching what are the shifts in a cybersecurity field. So basically, what cyber criminals try to throw at us, and they are trying to adjust to that. How effectively it would be? So one example is that yeah, cyber criminals have their own GPTs. So basically, I've shown that there is Warn GPT and Fraud GPT. However, those are quite legacy versions. The Warn GPT was announced like in 2021. So, since that time, they've experienced one upgrade. It's Warn GPT 2.0 right now. ChatGPT have experienced like 4, 5, 6 updates at the moment, and those are pretty big updates. So basically, it brings a lot of functionality. Of course, there are a lot of money behind the cyber crime business, but you can see that cyber criminals are looking for the new ways how to substitute those GPTs with the more powerful tools. At the moment, they see that the functionality is lacking behind the enterprise tools, and hopefully the situation will stay the same.
Yeah, sounds good. So basically, we could conclude that they are less consolidated, of course. I mean, because they are probably competing for the same bounties that they are after, I believe, in a way. And the legit AI is more about cooperation between big institutions, including academia and corporates. All right, that's promising. We have a question there.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the presentation. I understand that the TET is building the 7th data center. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, and you have awesome hoodies saying courage, trying. Is there anything innovative in the way you are planning your new data center? Thank you.
Yeah, not connected with the cybersecurity. So the new data center for that will be the greenest ever. So basically, we will offload all the heat to the Salaspils Siltum, the company which provides the heat services for the Salaspils city. The data center will have the best energy efficiency, I would say, right now in the country, and not if Baltics. We'll see. And of course, we are getting ready for the AI era, so we will have the combination of the traditional cooling with the liquid cooling as well. We are getting ready to deploy the GPU at scale.
I was in the presentation of the new data center, and actually it just looks like a really small detached private house. Nothing very innovative in terms of its outer design, but the details are really sophisticated, and yeah, it's very, very green in its design. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lots of information to consider. Thank you.